Sightings like the Phoenix Lights have generated questions and made believers out of skeptics. And this 600-page guide may lend credibility to UFOs. It's the Fire Officer's Guide to Disaster Control and said to be found in firehouses across the U.S. The book covers everything from fires to floods, but it's Chapter 13 that takes an unusual twist in firefighting techniques titled Enemy Attack and UFO Potential.
It would not be remiss to give some thought to the part that fire departments might play in the event of the unexpected arrival of UFOs in their communities.
The book, written by 2 retired firefighters, addresses what first responders could encounter.
You may have engine trouble upon approaching the scene, and radio contact could be lost with your dispatcher. If at night your headlight could go out, the city could be blacked out, and your portable generators may malfunction.
No, this took me by surprise.
Believers like Jim Mann see the book as an opportunity.
This is a real phenomena that we should deal with. We should deal with seriously.
So, is it for training purposes, or is it enough to warrant a UFO education red alert?
This is something that could really happen in our lifetime.
It even asks, how do you treat injured aliens? Are first responders aware of the potential physical injuries?
Some fire chiefs have little confidence in disaster plans, especially those dealing with UFOs or enemy attack.
We contacted several fire agencies regarding this book, and some even called us. However, not one admitted to using it for training, although some are aware it exists.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? It just shows you that serious professional people are starting to take this whole subject of UFOs and ETs. They're starting to take this seriously.
Jim Mann investigates sightings and encounters for the mutual UFO network known as MUFON.
This is a real threat to this planet.
MUFON has its own investigative guide seen here publicly for the first time.
And I don't think we're crackpots. I think that we're just people that want to be aware of what's going on. We don't know where we came from. We don't know where we're going.
And one of the authors of this book says many people miss the point regarding that chapter in UFOs, saying previously, quote, whether they exist or not is not the issue. It's the perceived existence which creates the potential for panic, injury, and even death. Reporting live, Christopher Sine, ABC 15 News, your Valley.
Oh,
Amore,
c'è?
c'è?
Sì, quelli dell'anno scorso.
No.
Guardalo.
Bello, Anto.
Beh, zitta, africana.
What's that? It's not a plane. What is it? Shit. Wow. Is that a UFO? No, that can't be possible, man. That's impossible. Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah. Fuck.
Dude. Did you catch it on camera? You got it?
Yep.
No fucking way. Can't believe that shit.
Uçağı da çek. Harika. Öyle desinler. Nerede abi? Işık öbür tarafa gidiyor. Ciddi söylüyorum, ışık bir tarafa gidiyor.
There was a bright full moon, and below the moon was this little bright spot. We didn't know what it was, and we were filming out over the water. There was no structures in the water. There was no oil platforms. There was no ships going by, and we zoomed in. This camera had a 200 millimeter lens and an electronic doubler, so we were able to get very tight on the leading edge of the craft. The craft, you have to realize, is being lit by the moonlight, which is, as I said, a very bright moon. And then right in the front of the craft, there appeared to be 3 windows, viewing ports, whatever you want to call them. And standing in these viewing ports were typical bumper sticker gray aliens. And I saw this, I mean, I looked through the camera myself, and unfortunately we recorded it. That video went to a university in Istanbul and went over extremely intense scrutiny by the Turkish government, and then the video was also sent to the UK and several other countries for analysis. By the time all that had been done, it had already been on the internet and could absolutely not be suppressed from the public. Recently, this year, the video was given to a analyst in Chile, and he did another review of the film, but this time, instead of concentrating on the craft, he concentrated on the occupants. And on my website, alienscalpel.com, you'll see the entire Chilean analysis.
That Rainer and Edith Shadows call home in the Compass Bluff area of Jackson County. Were they a phenomenon that's simple to explain, or maybe something else? The couple talked with Doug Walker today about their recent close encounter.
The Shadows never tire of looking at the strange images caught by their trail cameras that clear winter night.
We have unusual things around here that happen, but it's usually associated with our grandchildren. But this case, we didn't know what it was. I was looking for a nice buck to be showing up on the trail camera, actually.
7:24, deer appear and all is normal. 7:29, a dim light appears. 7:35, it gets brighter. 7:53, a weird shape appears on the camera. The deer are lit up brightly. But how? The cameras are infrared and don't emit light. 7:56, another sharper light appears. Then it gets much closer, seemingly focused on the deer. It looks like headlights, but well off the ground and there's no road. Then it flies away. Rainer takes me to the site deep in the woods. These are the trees where the object appeared.
Well, first I was trying to see if it was something, a reason for what we were seeing, but the more we looked at it, the more we realized it was something that was in the air. It was something that I'd never seen before.
Reaction from friends is what you would expect.
Well, actually, they're all just like we were. They're like, what? What is that? Hey, let me look at that again.
Another deer is seen looking at a light that seemingly comes from nowhere.
Well, now whether it's alien, I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely it's UFO. Now, whether it's a government drone or what, I wish if nothing else, one of them would step up and say, yeah, that's ours.
While Rainer and Edith admit they are wondering what this object was, would like to find out, are enlisting the help of friends to try to solve the mystery, they also say it's been quite a bit of fun.
It's a puzzle. It might not be solved, and this one that's, kind of fun. It adds a little flavor to life, I guess you could say.
Flavor and another ingredient tossed in as well.
We just was fascinated over it because of the fact it was right here, and it's real.
In Jackson County, Doug Walker, WLOX News.
And despite the mysteries surrounding the lights, the Shadows say they aren't really concerned about their safety and still enjoy the peace.
So let me say something. Close down the bridge, back on stroll. Swagger out of control, let it rain and hold down them kids. Pace related, race to cadence. Cover the codes, y'all facing the flagrant. Better research and start tracing them payments. The wrath of my man, y'all want that, I take it. So sing along while we touching the
or
base.
the best offense. Because we can't defend, we got to go on the offensive with this. The biggest mistake you made, Mississippi, you killed the son of a Muslim. You killed the son of a Muslim. You say, wait a minute. What about the sons of Christians? You made a mistake in killing Christians too. But the sad thing is, Mississippi, my Christian brothers and sisters, you die, you grieve, you take your dead sons and daughters to the cemetery, and you cry, and you grieve, and you go back home, and you say, I know my baby didn't commit no suicide. You know it deep down in your soul, you know it, and you make the best protest that you can. And when the forces seem so heavily arrayed against you, you back off. You love your babies that you bury, but that old saying, we can't fight City Hall. So you bury your dead and you go back home, and a month or so later, or a week or so later, you pick up your newspaper, there's another one. Then there's another one. And you get on your knees and you say, Lord, Lord, have mercy. In the Quran, Allah says to us that He will never change the condition of a people until they change themselves. It is not God that is lacking, it is you lacking faith in God to stand up like a man and a woman and let's challenge the force of evil and destroy it from the face of the earth. It's you, not God. A faithless group of people. Reverend, dear Reverend, it is not good enough that we preach Jesus on Sunday morning. We gotta live Jesus 24/7. Jesus had a group of disciples that had no faith. He was asleep in the boat, and the winds came up, as they're gonna blow in Mississippi in a few hours. I'm asking God, in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to bring his wrath down on Mississippi. I'm asking God, I want you to know that my words are not going to be empty. As fast as I speak them, God is going to answer. Death and destruction is coming to Mississippi. I want all of you to know that Farrakhan is not in America to talk no crap. Farrakhan is not no blowhard. I am backed by God and I'm from God, and death is going to visit Mississippi.
There had been some spring flooding along the Missouri and Mississippi, but that happened every few years. A couple of feet of river water on a few low-lying areas. The spring of '93 was nothing special.
But miles upriver in Des Moines, Davenport, Dubuque, all along the upper Mississippi, the spring rains continued falling and the rivers began rising. A wet spring would evolve into a record-breaking summer.
First it was an annoyance, then it became a major disaster, but new predictions put the Mississippi flood crest at 45.5 feet in St. Louis.
Our top story tonight at 10, a call is out tonight for more sandbaggers in South St. Louis.
The city's fire chief sounded the call after seeing what you just saw, a new higher forecast for the Mississippi.
Hundreds of families now face the very real possibility of losing their homes.
The true impact of the levee break wouldn't be known until sunrise, Saturday morning, July 31st. As St. Louisans awoke to Today in St. Louis, anchors Jeff Fowler and Gene Jackson showed the city and the nation some of the most incredible pictures we're ever likely to see.
The Monarch levee broke at about 10:30 last night, sending water spilling into an area of Chesterfield. It has flooded many farms. It has covered Highway 40 from just west of Clarkson all the way to Highway 94 in St. Charles. We are told in some places that the water is 4 to 5 feet deep along Highway 40. My partner Gene Jackson is in Chopper 5 with Alan Barklage at this hour, and they're over Highway 40. If you can see it, Gene, good morning.
Jeff, that's the trick. Can you see it? It's tree line, and the water is almost up to the tops of the trees here in Chesterfield Valley. And this is in an area where there's not supposed to be water, so you can imagine the damage that's being done. And Jeff, the debris is just horrendous. There are floating crates, barrels with who knows what's in them. Cars, you name it.
Gene, we can see we just saw at the top of the screen the Daniel Boone Bridge there. That gives people a pretty good perspective on the area we're talking about. And yeah. I mean, it's just, there's just no way to get near that bridge.
No way. In fact, the entire section of Highway 40 is closed in both directions from the Daniel Boone Bridge back to almost Chesterfield Mall to Clarkson Road.
As Saturday turned into Sunday, the attention of St. Louis and the world would turn to the bottomlands of Illinois. It would be a memorable day where the river would once again show its incredible power. The drama played out live on News Channel 5 as Jeff Fowler, Gene Jackson, and helicopter pilot Alan Barklage narrated the live pictures from Chopper 5 as it hovered over the Monroe County farm of Virgil Gummersheimer.
There's an actual breach in the levee at the farmhouse, and water's just flowing through it at a tremendous rate. Now, the problem is, you know, they could probably have another hour or so up on the levee before too big of a problem, but if that levee starts to go, there's no telling how long the levee or how large of a stretch of the levee will break at one time. The difference between the levee break earlier and now as we come around the tree here, it's unbelievable how quickly this water starts coming through.
It's digging a pretty good-sized hole, probably 5 feet deep right now in front of where that levee was. And the sandbags are being washed right down in there with it. You can see it coming around the other side of the farmhouse now and filling up in front of some silos.
Water is pouring through into this area.
Yeah, it's racing in there now, Alan.
And it's getting bigger by the minute. Before too long, this is going to be a major break in the levee.
If Joe can pan over and show us the house, I think you have to wonder whether the house is going to be able, the home is going to be able to withstand the force of the water.
Here we go. Here goes a part of the shed that held and housed a lot of the animals. It's now washing away. You saw the walls collapse underneath, and the roof and the contents are now washing away in that flood water.
That house is starting to go.
Oh, Jeff, it's unbelievable. There it goes. Just now lifted off the foundation, and it's just crumbling in the rapid and the violent waters here that are coming through this levee break about 3 miles south of the Jefferson Barracks Bridge. We've watched the silos go, we've watched the barn go, we've watched a shed go, and now the house itself has been lifted off the foundation by these floodwaters. It's just unbelievable.
And this
the trees are actually snapping in two. as well. This is it's just a tragedy.
Alan, in relationship to what you've already shown us, maybe Joe can get a wider shot and look back the other way. How many other farms do we have there that might be
Okay,
in trouble?
we're gonna bring it around and we'll show you as Joe comes by. There's some farms out in the background there, and you can see that there's still farmland here, and this water just keeps heading towards the farmland as we come all the way around. There's another big farm and some of these farms there's 10, 15, 20 feet of water in the farms already.
Fasting in prayer, I'm passing the ozone layer. I meditate in the air, high explosive. Lyrics are high explosive. I'm a space cadet with a tape and a cassette player. My fasting in prayer, I'm passing the ozone layer. I meditate in the air, high explosive. Lyrics are high explosive. Updated microphone, mighty King David. My eyes have seen the spaceship, Lion of Judah, high exalted, mystic ruler. Black stone, call me Abdullah. Skin made of solid pewter. My wisdom takes off with such great force. Go through space, warp, or break north, leaving lakes, frost. Shake the planet off course, lifting ships, mountains and cliffs. Planet shifts, mind drift, this is it. I've been abducted, no longer stuck with the corrupted 9-to-5 puppets. I threw away my change bucket, dropped my crutches. The faces of the public scream for justice. I'm a space cadet with a tape and a cassette.
I'm here with Brother Todd Muhammad. The question was, brother, there's a lot of these strange pictures that came out of Chicago on the Day of Atonement that showed what looked like to be a wheel in the sky. Can you tell me what led to you seeing this physically with your own eyes?
It was a beloved brother that was doing a roaming on the coast, and he alerted us that there was something in the sky that looked like two suns. We looked up in the western sky over the mosque. We were able to see what looked like an oblong shape, and that light glowed from a cloud as bright as the sun. The cloud formed a shape pretty much like an oblong shape, which caught our attention, and many of us caught it on film. And it was there for about 15 minutes, but as the crowd let out from the meeting, it disappeared. And to be honest with you, I haven't looked at the sky the same since.
On the man-made lake, there's a sheet of thin ice where unskilled skaters couldn't figure 8 twice. At 16, uncut, direct from the coast. Head on the soul, the result, death by the boat. In the vote, it spoke about the average lost commission that was seen by a king in a prophetic vision. Like a plane crash from a bomb blast. Special broadcast, slot time with Comcast. They kept the...
Stop for a sec, stop. What are these things?
Here comes another one, I'm telling you. And there's one way over there. Where? What is this? Far away over there.
There's the UFO. I just saw 2 others of that. The other 2 went away.
That one's going to after the flare wears away.
They were too far apart from each other.
There are 3 flares floating.
It's like staying there. Oh! Okay. Moving.
Been there for a while now.
We are in Boston right now. They were in like, notice these strange lights in the sky. You usually see quite a lot since it's an airport, but planes, I don't know. There's usually helicopters flying over there, but never like that. And just a few minutes ago, they were in like a perfect V formation. I don't know. Oh, they're moving pretty fast now. There you go, there's another plane. They're quite frequent. But I don't know what...
Copy. To the station's robotic arm.
Okay, wheels out.
Train onto the station's robotic arm.
Okay, wheels out.
Copy. To the station's robotic arm.
New footage that we were lucky enough to capture while doing one of our many daily screen captures of NASA's ISS Ustream pages. These pages are where they stream live footage from the International Space Station to viewers all over the world. Now, this is not the first time that we've captured UFO phenomenon on the ISS live stream. However, it is the first time that we've caught something and recorded it from NASA's newly created Live Earth Stream page, wherein which they have set up a brand new camera to record only shots of the Earth from an orbit. I, for one, was extremely interested in this news due to the fact that directly after we published one of our most recent videos where we had caught some literal smoking gun footage of a UFO approaching the space station, NASA directly after that had put up a notice on their live stream page indicating that they would be disabling and taking down the live stream feed for good. Thankfully, someone decided to put this termination to the back burner, and I'm sure one of the higher-ups at NASA realized that taking down this feed would only give more credence to our UFO footage and footage like it, and they wouldn't want to do that, now would they? So anyway, we're happy to have the opportunity while it lasts to keep a close eye on the ISS live streams, and for a very good reason. Because we keep catching these craft, and as you will see in this footage here, we've got some amazing stuff. Now, because these streams are live but on a small delay, should a UFO or another anomalous object make itself known, the quickest way for the controllers to cover up said UFO is to quickly cut the shot, which you will see that they did here and on many other footages that we have captured. It's basically a quick cut to a blank gray or blue screen, and it's pretty obvious too. They don't have really any time to edit these images out, so when you see that gray screen, be sure that you've got something recording and you can go back and check your footage to see if you've caught something. Now, this footage was captured in the early morning hours of June 8th, 2014, which was actually just a few hours ago prior to us making this video now. We were doing our routine captures and basically caught what amounts to a massive craft, undeniable UFO. Doesn't look like any military craft I've seen. Well, not that I would see it anyway if it's classified, but I'll let you guys watch the video and be the judge. We've got some amazing footage here, some more smoking gun footage brought to you from the secure team. We are always looking out for footage like this, and we'll continue posting it until our account is probably shut down. So take a look at it for yourselves and let us know what you think, and we'll keep you updated. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
On January 29, 2014, the live camera feed of the International Space Station, ISS, showed what appeared to be a strange yellow elliptical object docked with the hull of the ISS. The live camera feed was quickly recorded and uploaded to YouTube, and is generating much interest as possible evidence of a UFO interacting with the ISS. This has led to claims that the UFO was docked so that extraterrestrials could meet with NASA astronauts. The idea that alien ships could dock with the ISS and have meetings with its occupants is supported by the claims of a former NASA employee who during his 34-year service worked on numerous NASA missions and finally as a spacecraft operator, Clark McClelland. He claims to have witnessed a similar alien rendezvous during a United States Space Shuttle mission just before his security clearance was revoked by NASA in 1992. If extraterrestrials did dock their vehicle with the ISS to conduct a meeting with NASA astronauts, it would not be the first time, according to the claims of Clark McClelland. On January 29, 2014, the live camera feed of the International Space Station, ISS, showed what appeared to be a strange yellow elliptical object docked with the hull of the ISS. The live camera feed was quickly recorded and uploaded to YouTube, and is generating much interest as possible evidence of a UFO interacting with the ISS. This has led to claims that the UFO was docked so that extraterrestrials could meet with NASA astronauts. The idea that alien ships could dock with the ISS and have meetings with its occupants is supported by the claims of a former NASA employee who during his 34-year service worked on numerous NASA missions and finally as a spacecraft operator, Clark McClelland. He claims to have witnessed a similar alien rendezvous during a United States Space Shuttle mission just before his security clearance was revoked by NASA in 1992. If extraterrestrials did dock their vehicle with the ISS to conduct a meeting with NASA astronauts, it would not be the first time, according to the claims of Clark McClelland.
It seems to never fail. It seems to never
began its descent back to Earth. As the shuttle raced over the Pacific towards the US, the crew put on their suits, preparing themselves for a routine landing. It was now 8:40 a.m., and these are pictures of their last moments alive.
Columbia's a beautiful ship. She's performing magnificently.
At 8:44 a.m., Columbia re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. Still, everything appeared normal.
Flight. Flight GNC. Everything looked good to you? Control and rates and everything is nominal, right? Control's been stable. We have good trims. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Okay.
Then, just 22 minutes before touchdown, at 8:54 in the morning, there was an unusual reading from one of the shuttle's many sensors.
Flight back.
Go ahead, Max.
FYI, I've just lost 4 separate temperature transducers on the left side of the vehicle.
4 hide return temps?
Flight back to the left outboard, left inboard elbows. Pressure on left outboard and left inboard both tires. FYI, I've just lost 4 separate temperature transducers on the left side of the vehicle, hydraulic return temperatures.
4 hide return temps?
To the left outboard and left inboard elbows.
Okay, is there anything common to them, DSC or MDM or anything? I mean, you're telling me you lost them all at exactly the same time.
No, not exactly. They were within probably 4 or 5 seconds of each other.
Okay. Where is that instrumentation located?
All 4 of them are located in the aft part of the left wing, right in front of the elevon actuators. And there is no commonality.
No commonality. And there's no commonality between all these tire pressure instrumentations and the hydraulic return instrumentations?
No, sir, there's not. We've also lost the nose gear down talkback and the right main gear down talkback.
Nose gear and right main gear down talkbacks?
Yes, sir.
In flight ecom?
Ecom.
I've got 4 temperature sensors on the bottom line data that are off scale low.
Columbia, Houston, UHF comm check. Columbia, Houston, UHF comm check.
Capcom, Charlie Hobart calling Columbia on UHF frequency as it approaches the Merritt Island tracking station range in Florida. Communications with Columbia were lost at about 8 a.m. Central Time, about 10 minutes ago. This is Mission Control, Houston. Any debris that is located in the vicinity of the north central Texas area that may be related to the shuttle contingency should be reported to local law enforcement, who will then report to NASA. It should be avoided. Debris could be potentially hazardous due to toxic substances that are used as propellants on the space shuttle. Flight controllers here are securing all information and notes and data pertinent to the scheduled descent and landing of the shuttle today as part of contingency procedures. Search and rescue teams in the Dallas-Fort Worth area have been...
Columbia, Houston, UHF comm check.
At 9:16, the truth dawned on Mission Control. The space shuttle had been lost.
GC flight. GC flight. Fly GC. Lock the doors.
"38 miles above ground, the space shuttle had exploded. All 7 on board were killed. The question was, what had gone wrong?
Again, any debris that is located in the north central Texas vicinity that may be related to the space shuttle contingency should be reported to local law enforcement authorities and should be avoided, as it may be hazardous due to toxic substances that are used as propellants.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So right here they're calling out a bogey at 10 o'clock high to Mission Control. So let's just pay attention.
They have an unidentified flying object.
All it's high that appears to be tumbling. It just seems to be tagging along with us. We got somebody out the front window with a pair of binoculars and a zoom lens. We're trying to get a pretty good idea on this thing.
Let me copy that.
Okay, I don't know if you guys are still tracking it with the camera.
Now right here, they were trying to focus their camera in on the space station, so when they swung it over to the object, it would be in focus with no fumbling around, and the transmission cut. Now we have Mission Control coming on talking about they're losing this, they're losing all these different telemetries, and it wasn't all at once. They didn't lose all telemetry all at once. It didn't just explode in one big bang. There was multiple explosions throughout the ship because things were failing seconds apart from each other. And when we get when we're getting telemetry, we can tell down to the nanosecond what happened, right up until the point where the image where the telemetry stops. So let's listen to everything that's being said here, and I want you to really pay attention to this video, guys, because this is the type of video that I'm talking about that meets all my criteria to tell me that this is a 100% legitimate video.
Flight Max. Go. We just lost tire pressure on left outboard and left inboard, both tires. FYI, I've just lost 4 separate temperature transducers on the left side of the vehicle, hydraulic return temperatures.
4 high return temps?
To the left outboard and left inboard elevons.
Okay, is there anything common to them, DSC or MDM or anything? I mean, you're telling me you lost them all at exactly the same time?
No, not exactly. They were within probably 4 or 5 seconds of each other.
Okay, where are those? Where is that instrumentation located?
They're all 4 of them are located in the aft part of the left wing, right in front of the elevon actuators. And there is no commonality.
No commonality. And there's no commonality between all these tire pressure instrumentations and the hydraulic return instrumentations?
No, sir, there's not. We've also lost the nose gear down talkback and the right main gear down talkback.
Nose gear and right main gear down talkbacks?
Yes, sir.
And flight temperature sensors on the bottom line data that are off scale low.
Columbia.
So here's where I start to have a problem with some of this video, guys, because I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is STS-107 on takeoff for that mission. Now we're looking at the left side of the shuttle, and if you pay attention, you look where it says United States and we see the flag. We see the United States flag and then we see United States. Now after United States we do not see anything. It's just blank white. There's no logo there, no nothing. In the video we have a NASA logo there. Now you're going to ask me, how do you know you're looking at the right part of the craft? Well, I'm going to show you right now. We have the flag and then United States. On the takeoff picture we have the flag, we have United States. How do I know that that matches the left side of the craft? Because on the right side of the craft, as seen in this picture on a previous landing, we have United States, then we have the flag. It's reversed, guys. So I know for a fact that we're looking at the left side of a shuttlecraft. And I know for a fact that the flag on the left side of the shuttlecraft indicates to me that what we're seeing on the left side of our screen is going towards the front of the craft, and the right side of the screen would be the back of the craft. Either way that we look at it, I can find no NASA logo on STS-107 in any of the official. Is that a deal breaker? Not really, but it is something to think about, guys. It's something to really, really think about when we're looking at this footage. As real and as convincing as it looks, we have to keep this into consideration.
Houston, UHF comm check. Columbia, Houston, UHF comm check.
Capcom Charlie Hobart calling Columbia on UHF frequency as it approaches the Merritt Island tracking station range in Florida. Communications with Columbia were lost at about 8 a.m. Central Time, about 10 minutes ago. This is Mission Control Houston. Any debris that is located in the vicinity of the north central Texas area that may be related to the shuttle contingency should be reported to local law enforcement, who will then report to NASA. It should be avoided. Debris could be potentially hazardous due to toxic substances that are used as propellants on the space shuttle. Flight controllers here are securing all information and notes and data pertinent to the scheduled descent and landing of the shuttle today as part of contingency procedures. Search and rescue teams in the Dallas-Fort Worth area have been alerted. Again, any debris that is located in the north central Texas vicinity that may be related to the space shuttle contingency should be reported to local law enforcement authorities and should be avoided.
there.
Countryside, rational explanations aren't quite so easy to come by. Oliver's Castle, Wiltshire, 1989.
There's a couple of lights down there somewhere.
This controversial film appears to show strange objects hovering above a cornfield. Below, complex circle formations appear. Retired electrical engineer.
The unknown, captured on camera time and time again. But this time, Eugene Ehrlich says this is proof that something is eerie over Lake Erie.
Once you see it with your own eyes, you're going to say, wow, what's going on here? And why do they keep coming back in the same spot?
Seen for 10 straight days, clearly over Lake Erie. Scientists debate merely to confuse the populace about who's apocalypse. Muslim, Christians, and Jews is watching this. The clues is obvious. The news is politics, so the rule that's dominant isn't loses prominence when you simply refuse to acknowledge it. So they choose to water it down. Comic and clown when it's spotted in towns, but their own pilots found that the logic is sound. Where's the honesty now when Elijah Muhammad taught it, we frowned. The FBI still copied it down. Locked in a file above top secret. But niggas love not believing military and cops. Proceeding with caution, often lost in the awesome displays of power that turn the brave to cowards. In these last days and hours, you can keep denying it or see the scientists verifying it when the sky is lit.
Now, obviously, the three of us were not gonna blurt out, hey, Houston, we got something moving alongside of us and we don't know what it is. You know, can you tell us what it is?
NASA knew very little about the object reported by the Apollo 11 crew. It was obviously an unidentified flying object, but such objects were not uncommon.
They seen it over Phoenix, it descended from the zenith. So tremendous was the things with all they could do was pretend they didn't believe it. A decision so egregious cause it stayed for 30 minutes right over the city limits. And those who were witnesses, so massive was this area, it equated the size of 2 aircraft carriers. To disbelievers that are laughing with hysteria, nations are opening files, the last is America. Me, I think the country's buying its time until they shown on CNN live up in the skies. Keep looking up, you'll see more of them flying high. So you can believe me or your lying eyes. They try and hide the facts cause the truth in this hour, the United States is not the world's only superpower. And you can be afraid if you part of a group of cowards. We in the last days, this is proof for the doubters.
The lights were really brilliant. I mean, it was enormous. And I suspect that unless the Defense Department proves us otherwise, that it was probably some form of an alien spacecraft.
Governor Symington is referring to what is now known as the Phoenix Lights, an object videotaped by many and seen by thousands over several nights in the Arizona sky in 1997.
When Ezekiel's vision transitions into reality, people begin to question their existence in this galaxy. Media starts spinning, pretending that it's fallacy. Admitting it's ending is not naturally in its faculty. Overwhelming evidence, go and tell them that heaven sent a sweet chariot, swing lower, fulfill the testament. But most are still negligent in the face of real precedent, like I'm with